Okay. All right. Well, there's our demo. Okay. So now with this upstyle, super easy. What we're going to be doing with this upstyle is we're going to be doing a little bit of braiding. We're going to be adding a little bit of texture in here in the front to frame the face. We're going to be pulling the sides up in an underhanded braid. And then what we're going to be doing in the back is we're going to be taking the back section, we're going to pull it up and do just like shoelace knots to bring it up and hold it up. We'll be using a few pins and probably doing a little bit of iron work here just to create a little bit more texture. Here. So now what we want to do is in this front area, we kind of just want to take the bang area, okay, this fringe area. We want to leave a lot of the sides and section. When you're doing upstyles, as you all know, if anyone does some upstyles, since we had a lot of wedding talk in here, it's the best thing you can do is set yourself up with preparation. So setting your sections aside so that you know where everything's going to go. So I'm going to section out this side because remember we want to have it down just to frame the face. I'm going to be using almost a triangle, but instead of going into a point, it kind of rounds off. So this is going to be our first section. All right. Now, one of my favorite is a detailing pomade. It's by Braid. Okay, I love it because it gives a good amount of shine. It's also not too sticky. It's not too greasy. It's not too sticky. And it just holds the hair together and makes the braids look so good. So what I do is I take a good amount, I put it on my hands. I'll take that, you can continue to hold that one. And I just prep this section. So I'm going to get all this little hair, and if you can, I'm going to smooth this out. And I kind of like these little sideburn hairs here for some reason. So we're going to leave those out. We can always put them back if we need to later. Just apply this product all through. And as you can see, it's just smoothing that hair out. Alright, now I'm going to have you tilt over to the side. Perfect. I'm braiding underhanded, which is going to underhand. Do y'all know the difference between underhand and overhanded? Okay, I'll show you both. Underhanded is when you bring the hair into the middle section. So the left goes to the right goes to the middle, and you keep on going. Okay, left goes in, you're bringing everything in. Okay, right goes left, everything, boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. When you're doing braiding overhanded, everything is out. So you have your three sections. Everything is going out. So you see this middle section is going out to the left. Grabbing in here. This middle section is going out to the right. Okay? This middle section is going out to the left. Okay? Middle section is going out to the right. So you see how we're going out and out and out. What the difference between the look is, when you have an overhanded section, the braid sits over the hair. Okay, it sits on top like a cornrow. But if you have an underhanded, which is what I'm going to do, the hair kind of folds into it. It's like a little tunnel, and the braid sits in. So y'all have seen that before, right? Where the hair goes up, and it's like a railroad underneath of a braid. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so you see how that's more on top? That's the overhanded. Okay, in. And just grab as you go, picking up hair, adding it to your section, and going. Picking up hair, picking up hair, picking up hair. And so if you can see, you see how it's flatter to the head, it's not sitting on top. and we're working our way down. We're going to continue this on the opposite side. Smoothing your sections out is very important when you're braiding. Before you go and continue, adding it to it, smoothing that section out, bringing it over, adding it to, over, adding it to it. And we're going to do it all the way until we run into that section that she's holding. So this is my last section. Last section. And then we're going to braid it all the way down. You can lift your head up. So you see our braid that we have? And we're going to braid this all the way down to the end. Okay, again here. Brush it through. If you ever have a client that's ever worried, and this is a big one because I'll be doing a blow dry, and sometimes I need to get a certain angle, and most clients they're going to know that they want their hair to look good, so they're not going to trip. I know sometimes I've seen a lot of stylists do taller clients, and they maybe have been a shorter stylist, just in awkward where they're stressing themselves. I'm like, you're doing this all day. They're here for half an hour to an hour. You need to make sure that you're comfortable. And so you got to do that. You have to make her tilt her head over. You have to make him slouch down. You have to make that one person look up at the ceiling so that you can get the top of their head. You have to make sure that someone looks down at the floor so you can get the front at a different angle. Maybe move your body positioning, whether you're sitting on the side, whether you're standing on the side. One of the things that I like to do I try not to saddle people, get on top of them basically. Have you ever seen that or seen a stylist do that? Mm-hmm. I try not to do that, especially as a male. I feel like it can be a little bit, I guess anybody really, but especially being a male working with a lot of females, I feel like it's not the best situation. I'm going to do a center part, and I'm going to just have it really random. So I'm going to zigzag. And then we're going to come in here, and we're going to start to wave the hair. So I'm coming in here with diagonal sections, smoothing that hair out. I'm going to come in, I don't want it too high. I'm going to put in a wave right in the middle and let it be straight. Come in here. On this particular one, I'm going to go towards the face, but a little bit higher, and let it go. Come in here, another one going back. And notice my direction. My diagonal forward is going towards the face. My diagonal back is coming back. This one, I'm going to have a wave a little bit lower. And I'm not waving the whole head. I'm just putting a little bit of bend on the hair. This one, let's have another one going forward. This one again on the top. And then we'll wave this one all the way through. Okay. A lot of the times with waving, sometimes we only focus on, say, the mid-shaft or the ends to get a wave like this. But when you're doing updos, all of this is basically sometimes pinned back, so you need a little bit more interest on those roots. So that for this one, we're going to just give it a little bit of interest on the root area. So you see that if we were to pin this back, it'll still have a little bit more interest in there. So we're going to mimic everything that we just did. Right here, we're going to give this a little bend on those roots. This one here, I'm going to have this one go towards the face. Just a little bend there, a little bend throughout. Then for this one, we're just going to do right in the middle here. Okay, let's see. Hello. And this one, the side on the left has a little bit more detail. To even add to that, the next step, and this is just with waving, to take your waving to the next step, after you do that first initial round of waving, go in and break up these sections just to give it a little bit more detail. Okay? So for over here, we already did our bigger sections. Now we're going to go in and do tiny little pieces just to give extra dimension. Coming in here. And this is just going to make the hair look fuller as well as a little bit more detailed. Coming in, let's have that one go towards the face. So instead of just doing our big ones, we went in there, broke up those big ones, and we're starting to add to that section. So again, you see how we have our big ones here? We're going to break up a piece of those big ones and add to that texture. Break up these big sections, add to that texture. It just makes it look a little bit more interesting. Do you agree? A little bit more fuller, a little bit more action going on here. Okay. Now that we have our texture on our sides, okay, next we're going to take our back section. Take our back section, and we're going to cross it and lace it. Cross. Before we do that, we'll do it first so that we can secure it because this braid is starting to come out. Let's lock it here. Lock. Locking right on top there. And do it as many times as needed. And what I'm doing, instead of having this lock right here, this is going to be my last section, so I'm going to do it underneath, and I'm going to pin it. Okay? I'm going to come in here with some bobby pins. In this class, we're going to talk about pinning. There's so many different benefits about pinning that you can do that sometimes we don't even think about. Different strategies and ways. Like putting in, I was exposed to maybe last year, pinning. There's a lot of stylists who don't even open these. Yeah. They just, did you notice that? Yeah, did you find that? Yeah, and I was like, that's a good one. And they just slide it in there. And that gives a whole different result, too. Okay, so that's that step. And look how interesting that looks. And look at her profile. Look at her side view looking really nice and interesting. Mm-hmm. And this has been pretty easy. This is a pretty easy updo. Next, we're gonna take this back section. We're gonna part it. Part it right down not down the middle, because we want the nape section to be bigger than this middle back section. Okay, middle back here. We're gonna come in here, zigzag, 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 zigzag. Taking all of this, leaving all of this out. And then we're going to take this middle section. This middle section is going to be our anchor. We're going to twist this section just once. Twist it there. We're going to take this middle back section. And I'm going to put just a tad bit of product. There we go. Tad bit of product to get these little hairs up. What are you using? I'm using Detailing Pomade, which is like one of my favorite pomades. Has a nice smell to it, right? It has a nice amount of shine, not too shiny. And it also has a nice amount of stick. Okay, taking that middle back section, and we're going to lace the bottom with the top. Let me see this comb here. I'm going to brush this so that it's just a little bit more clean. Perfect. Grab our section, and we're going to lift it up, and we're going to knot it, just how we did this top section. So bringing it up, crossing, and we're going to knot. Open up, look for the hole, pull it through, keeping that section up nice and tight, using that middle section as your anchor. You can lay that knot right on top. Perfect. And then we can do it just once more. Perfect. You got some pins for me? Perfect. Ooh, she's a boss. Did you see that? I might have to take you on set. Okay. That's good. That's really good. Well, I want to offer you all so many opportunities. This is my alumni school. I went to this school. I love the teachers here. So now what I did was I'm just fluffing out these sides. These were the extra hair that went over. I fluffed them out, and I'm going to cover this little gap that I have here. Just for something to make it look a little bit interesting. Okay, going in there and pinning. That's a nice little pin there. holding that. And we're going to do the same thing on our other side. We can just have that tucked there. Lift the head up. We're almost finished. And since she has the blonde, it looks really cool. Again, this side here. Taking this. So for whoever's nervous about updos or want to get better at updos, you see that it wasn't that hard. It's just a few simple steps that we did to create this hairstyle, and it didn't take us an hour, and we were able to knock it out. It's great for us to know these great simple updos, especially when we start to do bigger parties. Because if we're going to be taking hours doing these hairstyles, then that limits how many people we can do. So when they say, oh, can you do my cousin, my sister, my best friend, my, all of these people, my coworker, all these people for my bridal party, you have to start to give away some of those clients and build up your team. But why not be able, sure, I could do 5, because boom, all right, you're done. Okay, go and get your sister. And then boom, boom, do another quick little hairstyle that I'll show you on the 19th. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, go and get your mom. And just knock all these people, and you're making so much money because you did this. If I wasn't explaining every step, I would be able to do this in less than 20 minutes. Okay? And some people's hair already have a natural wave to it, and I don't really have to even add in this much texture to it for the front waving. Okay? So now let's give that a look. One of the things I'm saying that I want to do is I want to, let's do this. I want to make sure this isn't sagging as much. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come in with the hairpin. I'm going to take this section. So you see how it's sagging there? I'm going to take this section, pull it up, twist it. Just twist, 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 almost like you're making it into a French twist. And let's actually get a hairpin here. And I'm going to come in on one side of it, grab it, and put it in. So I'm going to come in on this side, twist it around, and nail it in there. Coming in, lift up, twist. Sorry if that hurts, love. And put it in. So you see now that's much tighter, it's not sagging as much. See the difference there? And now say if we wanted to bring these, say if she wanted to pull her hair out of her face a little bit more, since she has it's really long layers more so in the front, not a lot of bang, we can go ahead and either just put some of it behind the ear, which makes a big difference there. Yeah, I think that did the trick. Just putting some behind the ear. See how it opened up her face more? Yeah. And then that gives also a little bit of fills in this area so that it's not completely blank. Okay? All right, well, there's our demo. Yay. You're welcome.